Hey, what's going on? Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com. Welcome to yet another live stream. Hopefully I'm coming in clear here. Bear with me, by the way, if I know you're not watching this live, but I just want to make sure that it's coming in super clear and everyone can hear me okay. So if you can hear me and you can see me and there's no issues here, say everything's good. And then I know that this is working because I'm trying out a new way of live streaming here. So we'll wait for you to come in. This is Tripp Kramer from trippadvice.com. Also from coachedbytripp.com, as you see, because I now have availability in terms of coaching. That's right. I'm taking on new students and working with them every single week. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. And then we're going to talk about some really cool stuff here. 3 ways to get a girl to pay attention to you. And I got some stuff I've talked about in the past, some new stuff, and go into really good details here. So, okay, everyone is saying that it's good. So this is working. Fantastic. I had to cancel out a whole different live stream and start a whole new one, but we're back in action here. So, okay, let's get into everything. Just making sure. Yes, everything is good. Okay, so coachedbytripp.com, what is that? Well, if you go there, there's going to be an application form. I don't accept everyone into my coaching programs. You're probably wondering, what is coaching? There's all types of coaching, all different forms of coaching. So what am I talking about here? Well, what I'm talking about is us getting on a phone call every single week, one-on-one. That's right. I'm doing one-on-one coaching right now, so I can help you personally. I'm working with a lot of guys right now. We get on a call every single week. And what we do is we go over your dating life and we dissect it to really down to the core of what's going on, why you're not getting results in your dating life, why you're not meeting women, why you're not meeting the types of women you want to, why you're scared to meet women. And I create a customized plan for you to be able to meet and attract more women. And of course, going over what we need to do for you, because everyone's different, right? Everyone has different issues. Everyone is a different person, right? So we're going to go over everything we need for you specifically to get results on these weekly calls. And I have all different kinds of ways of us working together, meaning, we can work for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, even more than that, and really dive deep. And I'll go into a little bit more of how that works later on. But if you're already interested, go to the URL that you see right here on the screen, coachedbytripp.com. Again, there's an application form. Once you fill out that application form, once you do that, then I will be personally reviewing this, okay? So I'm not having any of my team members, any of my assistants do this. This is all me. I look through every application and make sure that it's an application that is filled out properly, right? So you have to be 18 or older. You have to actually answer the questions. I want thorough answers. And if you're giving me that, then we have the chance to get on a call together. We get on a call together and we see if coaching is a good fit for you. So, coachedbytripp.com. Go check that out and join me in terms of getting you help. And like I said, working on a customized plan to get you there. So if you have approach anxiety, if you don't have approach anxiety, but you're not able to continue conversation, or you have the trouble of flirting with a girl or making it so you're not in the friend zone, any of these issues whatsoever, we work on those. So we'll go over that. Cool. Now let's get into some good stuff I have today. We're talking about 3 ways to get a woman to pay attention to you. 3 ways to get a... So what does this mean? Well, you might be having the issue right now where women aren't paying attention to you. Maybe you go out to the bar, maybe you're walking around town and women just aren't looking at you. They're not paying attention to you. Nothing's happening. Or maybe you go up to a girl and you start talking to her and then nothing happens. It just goes nowhere. You can't get them to pay attention to you. You can't get them to take you seriously. Well, I know what's happening. There's some common errors that I see, which we're going to go over, and some really cool stuff that you could do to be able to fix this issue, okay? So let's start with a few of them, and then I'm going to be doing a little Q&A. So any questions that you have for me, any questions regarding some of the material that we're going over, just go ahead and ask, and we'll talk about it. And I'll answer your questions. And okay, cool. So what's the first thing? Well, here's the first thing, very simple. One of the reasons why women aren't paying attention to you is because if you're going over and you're talking to them and you're doing an approach, what's happening is a lot of guys go in and they don't follow through, okay? They kind of like go half in. So I'm about to talk about body language right now. So what happens is you go up to a girl and you kind of like go to the side of them, right? You're almost like shoulder to shoulder right here, right? Shoulder to shoulder. So you're not really facing her and you're kind of turning your head and you're looking at her and you're not following through with the approach. A proper approach is going up to a girl and being shoulder to shoulder in terms of mirroring her. You should be mirroring her in terms of your body language. You should be looking at her in the eye. Okay, your noses should be right here, like pointing to each other. If your noses aren't perfectly pointing to each other, well, that means that you are not facing her and you don't have the opportunity for her to directly pay attention to you because you're going over there, and if you're not doing that, what happens is you look nervous. You look shy. You look like you're half in, half out, like you sort of want to talk to the girl, but she's not sure why you're over there, what's going on. So you're not creating what I call the we bubble. The we bubble is, and I mean W-E, like there's a we, like there's a you and her. There's no you and her if you're kind of approaching at a 45-degree angle. Or you're kind of just going in there and you're shoulder to shoulder and you're kind of turning your head. And I see a lot of guys do this. I used to do this too. Of course, it's tough, right? You're nervous. You don't want to go up and really present yourself to her because that's scary. You're putting yourself out there and you're really grabbing her attention. That's the thing here. And that's one of the keys of today's video is if you want to get her to pay attention to you, you got to be paying attention to her. I'll say that again. If you want her paying attention to you, you got to be paying attention to her. So don't go in that half-assed sort of way, okay? I want you to go up. I want you to start talking to her. Maybe it's okay at first if you can't get right in front of her, but within hopefully 15 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds maximum, you should be facing her in conversation. Of course, there are some rules in terms of social rules you need to be abiding by. For example, if you're going up to her so directly, but you completely cut out someone else who is talking to her, you're going to look very rude. And she's going to be like, well, what's going on? So obviously, pay attention to who she's talking to, who she's around. You don't necessarily want to completely cut them off. That's going to be weird, and the approach is going to be strange. But that should be the goal. The goal should eventually be getting over to her and maneuvering to the point where you are mirroring her. So she can't pay attention to anything else. She can't, maybe she can look around a little bit, but there's no opening for her. In order for her to look elsewhere, she needs to be looking over your shoulder or obviously, turning her head somewhere else, but she's not going to be doing that because you're going to be right in front of her and you're going to be captivating her. Okay? So that's kind of the body language area I want you to be working on. I want you to be working on facing her directly. So again, you create that we bubble where it's you and her. It's a we, you and her. And you create this imaginary bubble around you two when you guys are in conversation. So for example, have you ever been in a conversation with literally anyone before and you're not paying attention to anything going on around you? You're just so present in the interaction. I bet you in that conversation you were facing them. I want you to think about this as if you were talking to a friend. Okay? When you're going and you're talking to a friend, let's imagine you're in a social setting, like a bar or a party, and you see a friend you haven't seen in a year. How are you going to approach them? Well, you're not going to be approaching them kind of going up and looking over your shoulder. No, you're going to go right up to them and be like, hey, what's up? What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, what's going on? You might even give them a hug. And eventually you guys are going to be talking face to face, nose to nose, shoulders to shoulders. You see what I'm getting at here? That's how you're really going to be captivating her. Not only, by the way, are you going to be able to get her to pay attention to you, but if you're doing that, she's going to really be feeling your presence, feeling your masculinity. She's going to be really absorbed by that. And that's what you want. It's a very dominant frame to have, to just go up to someone and just start talking to them and being right in front of them, having that conversation. It's so powerful. And if you can't, like I said, do that right away, sometimes you can do that right away. You see a girl in the street, you can pretty much go up to her and get to the point very quickly where you're shoulder to shoulder mirroring here. But I understand in social situations, maybe it takes a minute. That's fine. Do it as fast as you can. Fast as the situation allows it, so you can get in front of her enough eventually to get to the point where, again, eye to eye. And you'll be giving her really good eye contact at that point. And that's going to really create more of a connection between you two. So it's going to be more than just paying attention to you, but creating that connection. I'm going to go to the chat real quick and see if anyone is saying anything about this. Okay, cool. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, hold it for now. Hold it for now, because I know the chat's going to be going crazy. So hold it for now, and we can answer questions towards the end. But if I see anything come through, then I'll go ahead and answer them. Some of you are joining us now for the first time. I just want to let you know that you're going to see a URL there. You see the URL, coachedbytripp.com. That's a URL to go to an application to work with me one-on-one to do coaching. So stick around in a little bit, and I'll explain more about that and how that works. But for now, let's continue. We're talking about how to get a woman to pay attention to you. I know a lot of guys struggle with this. We just went over body language, how to use your body language to get her to pay attention to you, how to be able to use that so she's focused on you and nobody else. Okay, cool. Let's go to number 2. So number 2 is this. Number 2 is being the creator of events. This is an amazing way, not to get just a woman to pay attention to you, but to get women to pay attention to you. How do you get women to pay attention to you? Well, you become the creator of events. What does that mean? That means that you are the leader. You are the one who is completely in charge of your social life, and you're the one who's inviting many people, including maybe a woman or women that you're interested in, to these events. Now you're probably thinking, Tripp, how does that all work? I don't understand. What are you talking about here? Okay. So basically, what you do is when you go out and you're meeting girls, and again, this is going to be more for offline dating. We're not talking about meeting girls on apps and things like that. We're talking about going out and actually approaching women or approaching groups of people, talking to groups of people while you're out, while you're socializing at parties, at bars, maybe in grocery stores, sidewalks, coffee shops, wherever you're going to actually go up and talk to women in person. I want you to temporarily friend zone them. Okay, so you're going to temporarily friend zone them. That means that it's going to be sort of ambiguous whether or not you're interested. There's going to be a little bit of a mystery there, like, oh, this guy's talking to me. He's sort of flirting with me, but he's not asking me out per se. He's not physically touching me that much. Like, I want you to kind of talk to her like she's a friend, maybe flirt a little bit, but keep it very ambiguous. Because what you're going to do is, over time, the more and more approaches you do, the more women you talk to, you're going to start collecting numbers. You're going to collect phone numbers. And what you're going to do is you're going to start inviting these women and their friends, and you can tell them to bring whoever they want, guys and girls, to an event that you set up. Ideally, it's something that you do reoccurring. So that means that you're doing a reoccurring event every single week. A really good one to do is trivia night. So a lot of different cities have bars that do trivia nights. Let's say it's a trivia night on a Tuesday. You're going to start inviting these women out, and again, invite them and their friends out after you get their numbers from the approach and tell them to come to Tuesday trivia nights or whenever it is during the week. So this is you being the creator of events. It doesn't have to be a trivia night. It can be whatever you want. Maybe it can be a specific spot to eat some food, but it's cool if it's an activity, but not an activity where it's super engaging where you guys can't socialize. If it's a trivia night, very easy to socialize. If you're inviting people to come out and, I don't know, do rock climbing or something like that, it's more focused on the activity. So make sure it's something where you guys can still socialize. Find something in your town. So this takes a little bit of work, but this is something that I work on specifically with my coaching clients. So what I do is I teach them some techniques on how to do this, which I'm teaching you right now, and then holding them accountable to be able to do this. So you need to go out, do these approaches, start talking to women, friend zone them, like you're temporarily friend zoning them. You're getting them out to these events, And so when you go to this event, let's say, again, it's trivia, and all these people come, and it might take like a month, so be patient. The first time you do it, you might get a few people or 0 people, but you keep inviting the same people out, letting them know that something is happening. Eventually, you'll get people there. And they come, and all of a sudden, they're like, who is this guy? Because everyone is talking to you, everyone is socializing with you, because you are the center of this, and everything else is happening around you. So this is an amazing way to get women to pay attention to you and to be like, whoa, who is this guy? And you're showing leadership qualities. And that leadership quality is very attractive to women because it's a masculine trait, which they're attracted to. Okay, they're attracted to that. And you are this guy who's in the center of all these people. You're showing that you're pretty popular, that people like you, that you are an interesting person. And then you can have the pick of your litter, right? You can talk to and flirt with whatever girl you want, and you're already going to have some pre-attraction there, pre-selection, because all these women are going to be thinking that you're the boss, right? That you're the man. You're the guy who's running the show here, and that's very attractive. So when I say temporarily friend zoning them is now you can start flirting with and talking to any girl you want in terms of then eventually maybe taking her home or getting her number and seeing her again sometime. It makes it that much easier. Okay. Someone said trivia night. What the fuck? Who's your audience and how old? Dude, are you kidding me? Trivia night? Trivia night is for all ages. This is not for teenagers. They do it at bars. That's really cool. But you don't have to do that. Again, I'm not saying do trivia night. That's not the point of what I'm saying here. The point is you create an event, a reoccurring event. You do this, you get people out, and you just be patient because it's going to have to snowball. Like you're going to have to get some people who are going to come, and then you're going to have to get people to come and then enjoy themselves and then meet other people, and you're connecting other people, you're introducing people. And also, don't be afraid to, you don't have to, when you're approaching and going out and starting collecting numbers and collecting numbers, don't think you have to approach only the girls that you're super attracted to. Talk to many girls, because you're going to have them invite their friends, and their friends might be attractive. And also, if you're just waiting to talk to the most super attractive girl whenever you're at the bar, sometimes there's only 1 or 2 where you're just going out to the coffee shop and you're only waiting for like the 10 to walk by. It might take a while, and even if it does take a while, you're not guaranteed that you do talk to her and she's interested enough that she's going to give you her number. So talk to a lot of people. Talk to guys too. And also, because you don't want a situation where you do this and all of a sudden it's just all girls. That's kind of weird, right? That's not like a normal social situation. If it's just you and 20 girls, you might think, oh no, but that's awesome. But no, that's kind of weird. It's going to be like, why did he just invite a bunch of girls out? So you want to invite some of your friends. Let them know it's okay to invite guy friends. Let them know that that's fine, right? You just want to get a lot of people there. So that's kind of the key here. Someone asked real quick, does Hooked work for a lot of your clients? Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. That's way too much work, man. Yeah, it is a lot of work. All this stuff is work. All this stuff is work. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it's something that is going to be overnight. It's going to take time. But if you do this right and you're patient, then it unfolds pretty nicely. So, become the creator of events. That's number 2. We talked about body language in terms of going up to a girl, facing her, creating that wee bubble. Number 2, being the creator of events. And number 3, how do you get women to pay attention to you? So we're going to take it back one step. Let's talk more about the approach. Let's talk more about when you're in a social situation and you want to talk to girls. Well, here's what happens. I work with a lot of clients, and I'm teaching them, when I'm coaching them, okay, we don't want to have any crutches. What does that mean? Not having any crutches. This means that you're going to be going out without having to rely on anything. That means no booze, no drugs, no weed. If you want to be really intense, no caffeine. And going out alone. Okay, so those are all the things that a lot of guys sometimes need in order to be able to successfully approach women or try to build this social skill, right? It's like, okay, they wait for their wingman to go out with them, or they would get really drunk to be able to go and talk to a girl. I want to train you to have a superpower. That superpower is being able to go out and do all this without any crutches. So you never need anything. You're not a person who needs anything to be able to go up and successfully talk to a woman. You don't need people, wingmen. You don't need to get drunk. You need nothing. Okay? So where am I going with this? Well, if you're going to be going out and you're going to be going, and by the way, if you have a wingman to go out with, that's fine. I'm not saying don't, but it's going to be really important for you to eventually learn the skill, because there's going to be a night where you want to go out and maybe you're traveling alone, or you're on a work trip or whatever, who knows where you are, and you don't have the opportunity to go out with someone. So what are you going to do? Well, you're used to going out with someone, and now you're probably not going to go out because you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to go out alone. That's tough. So you want to train yourself to be able to do that. Okay? And then once you get to that point, you're going to be thinking, oh man, that's going to be tough. Like, what do I do once I get to a bar or a social situation, a party, wherever? It's going to be weird. Like, what do I do? I'm all alone. Well, first of all, no one's going to really know that you're alone. You may look alone, but they're probably just assuming you're waiting for someone or whatever. But none of that stuff matters. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start approaching girls right away. Okay? So I was saying this to a client of mine recently. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what's the first thing I do? Should I go to the bar? Should I get a drink? Should I get a water? Should I go to the bathroom? Should I make a lap? What should I do? And I told him the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go up and start talking to the first person you see. Doesn't matter who it is, right? So it doesn't matter if it's a dude, if it's a bouncer. Maybe it is the bartender, but don't go all the way to the end of the bar to go to the bar to talk to the bartender. I'm just saying, talk to the first person that's in front of you. You got to start socializing right away so it's not so scary the rest of the night. And with this, you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with women paying attention to you? Well, here's the thing. If you're at a party, you're at a bar, you're at a club, and you're socializing already and you're talking to people, if by any chance there's other women in there who are looking around, they're going to see that you're talking to someone. And if you're talking to a girl and they see that, this is another area where you can get that social proof, where they see you talking to other people and socializing. Okay? Really, the best part about this tip is not, though, the women paying attention to you. It is nice if they see you talking to other people because, again, you don't want to be just wandering around like doing nothing. You want to be in conversation, ABC, always be conversing, always be talking to people. But the main thing about this tip is if you don't start talking to women right away in a social situation and you are alone, every minute that goes by, it gets increasingly harder. Okay? Every single time. Yeah, someone said in the chat, 3-second rule. Exactly, 3-second rule, which I did not make up. That's like old school pickup terminology. Is the 3-second rule, but that's spot on. It should be the 0-second rule or the 0.5-second rule. Going up immediately, the first person you can talk to, because every minute that goes by, your anxiety is going to go up and up and up and up. Especially if you're not with your friend, especially if you're not with someone next to you that you can talk to and it's easy and you can just talk to them and you guys can talk to each other until you finally get the courage to go up and talk to somebody. Is this hard? Absolutely. Absolutely it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard, but you got to do it. You got to do it because you know what is harder? Trying to go and approach a woman after you've been in a bar for 20 minutes and you've talked to absolutely nobody. Your social muscle is not worked. That's not worked at all. And so what happens is you get more nervous because you haven't talked to anyone. It gets completely freaky. And then sometimes you just go home. Guilty. When I was first learning this, I'd go out. I wouldn't use that advice because I didn't know that was something to do at that time. And then I'd go and I'd not talk to anybody. And then 20 minutes later, I'd have worked myself up so much and got so in my head, I couldn't stand the anxiety and the thoughts going on in my head. I just left. I was like, okay, I either went home or I would just be like, all right, got to start fresh and go to a new bar. Like this one was tapped out in my mind, which doesn't make any sense. I was being completely irrational, but I was letting my emotions get the best of me. And then once I started getting to the point where I'd go out and just start talking to people immediately, then it became so much easier. You become warmed up, and then boom, 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 you're just getting into conversation left and right. So that's what I want for you too. And the byproduct of that is, again, women seeing you talking to other people, if they so happen to, and then you building that social proof. So that's pretty awesome. Let's see if there's anyone talking here. Aren't you supposed to go to bar with friends? It depends. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. That's a good question. Yes, it is. But right now, I'm talking to you as someone who's trying to get better and build this skill. Okay? I'm trying to get you better at building the skill of talking to women, attracting women. So if you're interested in building that skill, if that's your main goal and it's not to just party with friends, then you take my recommendations in terms of what I'm talking about, in terms of going out and talking to a girl without having a wingman. Okay? If you're interested in just kind of partying and having a good time, well, that's something different. I see it pretty black and white. Of course, you can mix both. You can go out with your friends, but hopefully, if you're going out with friends, you're still approaching women. I have found in the past, not just with myself, but with my coaching clients too, is they'll go out with friends and have usually the worst nights, not fun-wise, but in terms of talking to women, because it's such an easy crutch to not go and talk to a woman because you're just with your friends hanging out. So you just hang out with them. But if you go out and you're alone, it forces you to be able to go and talk to people because you're so uncomfortable being alone. What I'm saying here is do that as fast as possible. Yeah, someone said, so true, you got to get the muscles primed. It's a social muscle. It's a social muscle. Yeah, that's what you got to work on. So real quick, you see again, down below me, boom, it says Coached by Tripp, coachedbytripp.com. That URL goes to an application. I'm now taking on students, clients, in terms of coaching you one-on-one. So if you're interested in being coached one-on-one by me, and me helping you create a customized plan for your dating life and you being able to go out and meet more women and attract more women and actually getting results in this area, that's what this is for, and this is how I can help you. So we basically get on a call. Doesn't matter where you live. As long as you're 18 or older and you have access to a phone or Skype, we get on a call, and every week I give you exercises and homework to go out. So imagine I'm holding you accountable for going out and doing approaches, but also, I'm giving you customized advice depending on where you are struggling. Every guy is struggling in a different way. Some guys have social anxiety where they've never talked to a girl in their life and they're a 30-year-old virgin. Yes, this is a real client that I've worked with, and I'm working with someone similar to that right now. All the way to, no, you can talk to plenty of women, but you're not getting them attracted to you, or you are, but you're not attracting the kinds of women that you want. So that's usually how far it goes. It's like, okay, you have social anxiety, can't talk to women, or you are, and you're just not attracting the kinds of women. So anywhere in between that and at those ends, those are the kinds of guys I help. So if you struggle with conversation, if you struggle with flirting, with getting girls to not put you in the friend zone, to go out and practice these techniques we're talking about, the body language technique I went over in terms of facing a girl shoulder to shoulder, or being the creator of events, I talked about that as well, or being the guy who is able to go out alone. If you're having trouble with any of this stuff, that's the stuff that I help you with. That's the stuff that we go over in the program depending on where you're at. So if you are interested in learning more about this, apply today, coachedbytripp.com. I am currently taking on students and working with them one-on-one. You must be 18 or older. You'll see the application is fairly easy to fill out. Just a few questions. I just ask that you fill it out as thoroughly as possible. And I will go over the application myself, and I'll look through all of them. And if you're a good fit, you and I hop on a call together. And then we see if you're, furthermore, a good fit for coaching. And again, this is doing phone coaching. Spots available right now. Go to coachedbytripp.com as you see down below. If you have any questions, now is the time because we're going to do some Q&A. We got a bunch of people watching, and I know you got questions. So any questions regarding any of the material we went, I'm so excited. I love doing these lives, that we went over today. So we're talking about how to get women to pay attention to you. We talked about body language, becoming the creator of events, and being the person who's going to approach right away if you're going out solo, or really if you're going out with anybody. Yeah. Cool. So Nicholas said, I'm an athlete in college and want to meet non-athlete girls. Any tips? Yeah, if you're an athlete in college, women usually love the athletes in college. So just start going out to social events, parties, bars, and just talk to any of the normal girls there. Can I somehow touch her when initiating conversation for the first time? What do you have to say about this? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's not necessary that you touch her right away in conversation. Okay. Why is that? It can help, but if you're really awkward and feel weird touching a girl you don't know, you can practice this, but it's just not necessary. You can still attract a girl by just talking to her. So you don't have to use any kind of escalation ladders, physical escalation ladders. You can just be talking to a girl, be shoulder to shoulder with her like I've been telling you, and then get to the point where you can just go for a kiss and make out. So you can jump to that. What are the questions you got? What do you text a girl who doesn't reply quick, like grab her attention text, If you don't need a girl to reply quick. You just want her to reply at all. And don't forget, if you haven't heard me say this, if you haven't been following my texting advice, use texting to meet up with her. So don't worry about whether she's replying to text messages, just talking to her and having general chit chat. You want to be talking to her. You want to be talking to her on text message to get her to meet up with you. That's the whole point. No, I'm not the older divorced guys coach, working with all kinds of people. Tripp, is it true if you were friends with a girl for a long time, would there be a chance that she would be into you? Possibly, but why subject yourself to just one girl when there's many girls to meet? What are the questions you guys got? These are good questions, guys. Anything you want to know, especially in terms of what we're talking about here, how to get women to pay attention to you. What did you think of those tips, by the way? Did that help? Let me hear you. Let me hear you in the chat. And don't forget, as you see down below, coachbytripp.com. Go to the URL, apply today if you want one-on-one coaching by me, and I will respond to your application once you fill it out by email to set up a one-on-one call where we can further talk about coaching. Tripp, how do you deal with women who get in bad moods? Well, what do you mean? Talking about your girlfriend? Are you talking about a woman that you just meeting for the first time? Because it depends. It depends. Okay, Gerwin says, how do you kill approach anxiety in an instant? You can't kill approach anxiety in an instant. You can't. What you need to do is you need to be going out and you need to be talking to girls and do it in a baby step process. This is what I help guys with actually in the coaching program that I do, is I help you in terms of getting over your approach anxiety by giving you baby steps, right? Going out, just talking to a few girls at a time, making it easy, maybe asking directions somewhere, just like really easy approaches, and then building it up over time till you get to the point where you're having full conversations. That's how you do it. What's your thought on work relationships? Pursue them or avoid them? I would avoid them. You're not really creating an abundance mentality, okay? You're not creating an abundance in your life if you're just saying, I'm going to go focus on that one girl at work and don't put all of your effort and energy into that one girl who you meet, okay? I mean, yes, you put effort into it, do what you can, but don't put all the effort like this is the girl, this is the one. Guys get so obsessed with that one girl, and it's just mind-blowing that there's so many women out there that they're just so obsessed with one girl and they haven't even connected with them on like a romantic level. You can know them as a work friend or a friend. It's like, how do you know? How do you know this person is going to be actually good for you in a relationship? Or how do you know if she's going to be someone that you're going to be able to connect with sexually? It's like, you don't know that stuff. You should be more curious about women instead of just right away thinking that this one is the one, or this is going to be the girl that's going to solve all my loneliness issues. Thoughts on John Anthony lifestyle? Well, I interviewed him, so you should see that interview, and then you'll You'll see what's up. Thanks, Young Seuss. Says has been a big fan for years, helped you through your awkward teenage years. It's cool. It's been cool now that I've been putting out videos and doing this. Well, I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been coaching for 8 years. I've been putting out videos for 6 years. No, yes, 5.5, 6.5 years. And I've grown up with you guys. There's a lot of guys who were 16 when you're watching me, and now you're in your 20s. Pretty cool. Glad to be helping you. Why is everyone always talking about all these other dating coaches? Everyone's so curious what I think about all these other dating coaches. Oh, wow. Interesting. You guys are such spammers. Do you hate black people? Of course I don't. Who asks a question like that? What is this? Oh, someone said, you guys can't see this. Someone said, fuck this loser. I'll tell you how to get the right girl for you. Ready? Be yourself. Stop listening to this douche and be yourself. Good advice. What are the questions you guys got? A lot of haterade in this room. That's what happens. Haters going hate. Listen, here's the thing. I give a lot of advice. I have a lot of videos. I have a lot of podcasts. I have coaching. As you see in the URL below. Should you believe everything I say? No. Should you try everything I say? Yes. Absolutely. Not everything's going to work for you, but don't hate until you've tried some stuff and see if it works. Because what I've noticed is the stuff I've been teaching and coaching over the years, especially when I'm doing it with coaching clients, is like the stuff, I've filtered it down to the stuff that I've seen work time and time again. But you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to like the advice at all. You can hate all you want, but at the very least, go out and try it. You know what I mean? Like, go out and try this stuff. Try to make it work for you. That's what I did when I was first starting. I just tried anything I could. I followed some gurus. I was just like, all right, like whatever works is going to work. Some stuff worked, some stuff didn't. And you're probably getting some good advice from other guys. That's fine. I love the competition. It's okay. There's no competition here. Follow other gurus. Watch all the other people out there. Get advice from them. Put it all together. Try stuff out. See what works. But honestly, you got to put it into practice first. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But don't give up. My stuff doesn't work. Don't give up. See that? See that? There's always an option for you. But a lot of guys, they're going to hate. They're going to say stuff because, they're probably just hating themselves. That's the real thing. Is that they hate themselves so much and they just have, and I feel bad for those guys. I'm not even coming down on those guys. You hate yourself so much. You think you're a loser. Deep down inside, something's going on with your self-esteem that you just throw it to other people. But I'm not asking you to love me. Please. I don't want that from you. I'm asking you one thing. Try it. Try the stuff. Try what I'm telling you to do. Okay, I'm going to ban this person because you've been nothing but a nuisance. Now you're talking about whether I'm Jewish or not. That is just... We're just going to kick you out. Cool. See what happens. That's what happens, guys. If you're going to really throw out some hate, I'm just going to kick you out. If you're going to spam the chat, I'll just kick you out. Cool. All right. What else we got here? What other questions can I answer for you? I'm sure this has been entertaining hearing me talk about all the haters out there. What are the questions you got? I'll answer a few more questions for you. We'll go over some more stuff. Why do girls act cold in text, but when I see them in person, they are flirting with me and sending me choosing signals? Why do girls act cold in text? A way to answer this question is you're looking at this the wrong way. if you're in a situation where the girl's flirting with you in person, but they're cold in text message, it sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, I'm guessing this is probably like a school thing. You need to be going to the point where you're getting rejected by these girls. A lot of guys don't focus on getting rejected enough. Like, you got to do that. You got to get rejected a lot. You have to. That's the name of the game. You got to go out and get rejected. And you got to accept that a lot of this journey is going to be you getting rejected. You know? This is the problem, is that guys don't focus on that enough. They try not to get rejected. Really, you should try to get rejected. One thing I've been going over with my coaching clients recently, one thing I have them drill is going out and either one of two things happening. You go out, talk to a girl, and she's either going to reject you or you're going to take her home that night or get her number. That's it. That's it. Nothing in between. If you're not doing one of those things, meaning getting rejected or taking her home that night and getting her number, if those aren't happening, that means that you're leaving the conversation early because you're not allowing yourself to get rejected. You got to get rejected. Get to the point where the conversation is so painfully awkward that they're like, oh, we got to go. Get to that point. Don't avoid that. Merp said, I have a lot of cringy rejections. Good. That means you're doing something right. You know, you're doing something right. So you just got to make sure that you're going out and doing these approaches and putting the work and putting the time in. You got to do it. You got to do it. Rejections build you up. People think it breaks you down. People think, no, rejections are bad. Oh, that makes me feel terrible about myself. No, they're making you stronger. They're callousing you. You have to go through it. You're not going to be able to attract every single woman. So rejections are inevitable. If you're trying to avoid it, it's not a reality. It's not a reality. Okay? You guys are asking interesting questions and saying interesting things, per usual. So don't forget, as you see down below, if you're still with me, or you're just joining for the first time, you see coachedbytripp.com. That is a URL that you can go to right now that will send you to an application to do one-on-one coaching with me. So if your issues lie anywhere between approach anxiety, getting girls to get physical with you, being able to learn how to have the dating lifestyle you want. Maybe you want to sleep with women. Maybe you want to get a girlfriend. Maybe you want to be in a polyamorous relationship. Whatever it is, I can help you get to that point. I've got a whole system that has been proven and worked with hundreds of guys that I've coached over the years. Okay? I have a whole customized plan for you that's waiting for you. I have a whole plan for you that is going to work because it works with every single guy I've ever worked with. All you got to do is show up in the calls and let me do the work and give you the right advice, the tailored information for you specifically to get results in your dating life. So if you're stuck, if you're like, I can't move forward, or you just want to move forward fast, even if you're like not stuck, you haven't even tried this yet, you haven't done anything, you never talked to a girl in your life, and you're like, I just want to get this handled and just be done with it. Like, let me just get this handled and move on with my life so I can focus on other things. Then apply for coaching. Coaching is amazing. And by the way, coaching is just amazing. So whether you coach with me or someone else, whatever you do, understand that coaching is the way to go because it helps you get somewhere faster. That's why you hire a personal trainer. If you want to get buff faster, lose weight, or a life coach to get you through some of your difficulties in figuring out what you're trying to do with your life or get things organized. Why do you think there are teachers out there? Why do you think there are coaches in sports? Because there are people out there that can help push you further and get you better at whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I have the answers for you, but you got to apply. Go to coachedbytripp.com and fill out the application. You have to be 18 or older. Fill it out, and we'll get on a one-on-one call to see if you're a good fit and talk about some of the packages that I have to offer. So I'm blasting this out on my social media. I'm talking about this a lot right now in my coaching programs because I am back on board. I chilled out for a little while because I was so focused on creating content, YouTube videos, podcasts, building up my Instagram, things like that. By the way, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. It's at Tripp Advice, and DM me and say hello. And so I've been focused more on that many of the years, and just recently got everything kind of handled with that. And so now I've freed up time to really work with you one-on-one and help you. And it's been pretty awesome. Guys have been signing up left and right and working with people, and they're getting results. I had a guy just recently who got 6 dates in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, he got 6 dates from going out and talking to a bunch of girls. Amazing. That's just some of the results. So, cool. Awesome. Check that out, coachbytripp.com. Thanks for tuning in to our live stream. Hope this was useful for you. Hope you learned something about how to get women to pay attention to you. You've learned a lot today. We also talked about haters. That was fun. That was a good time. So I'm going to be doing this next week as well. Been doing it for at least the next month, maybe 5 weeks, going on live, answering questions. So same time next week, next Wednesday, we'll go over another topic, and we'll dive deep and help answer your questions. So awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will catch you later. We're going to end this stream right now.